Hello everybody. I'm just giving you a video on somebody asked me some question. I don't know the name, but it's a user July713X on YouTube. It was about how to tell who is your twin, and I actually posted the whole thing of the question out on Facebook together with this quote, and we're gonna go over this simply because a lot of the people trying to figure it out this part, twin flame, you can't handle this. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you. If you want to watch the video, it's how to tell who is your twin. It's on YouTube. That's one of my first videos actually, and this is the part when I understood that twin flame actually comes in to brings you together, to put you together. But what does that mean, together? Put you together inside of you, inside of the soul, and despite that, doesn't matter how many others you have, despite whatever your situation might be. You may be single, you may be married, you may be divorced, you may be widow, you may be separate, it may be complicated. It's still, if you're a twin flame, you need to understand you're a twin flame, and most of the people, when they figure out the twin flame, and they are not the twin flames, they have to understand they cannot handle this. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it right now. Dear Veselinov, but what does it feels like to be a twin flame? Here how it feels like to be a twin flame. And that personal space deep inside of you, that it's only for you. When you establish this connection and you feel them on all the levels, you feel them on a physical, energetically, heart, spirituality, soul level, and then the universe completes that oneness of it. You will be completely begin to change. Your life will be changed, and now that person is gonna be all the time with you. You basically, they're gonna be inside of you. Doesn't matter how hard you try to get them off, how hard you try to forget them, how hard you try to run away from them, you can't. They are completing some kind of portion inside of you. I found out later on it's called mirror neurons that actually establish the same length between the brains. And once that lightning comes in inside of you, that's it. You're basically matched. You're matched by the universe. You're matched by God, if you take a look at it. And you have to go ahead and change yourself despite cultures, age gaps, married, kids, religion. You have to fight against everything and anything simply to become your truth and to become love. You basically will have to tell everybody the truth, and that is including yourself, but also the truth you to tell to the universe, and you and your twin to be together. And that is a journey of truth. That was a journey so you can understand the soul wants to find one thing. The soul wants to find its own mate, that it's belong to it, where it's belong to, and in a union with the unison within the universe. And then you understand the magic that a lot of the people wants to know and feel, and this is a oneness together with the universe. And then the real magic begins. Just then. Before that, it's only a physical part. It's only a physical needs, and it's only this part of you to be together. But you don't understand really the reason why you want to be together. You will understand the reason when you begin to evolve. But this is what it feels like to be with a twin flame. You are actually with this person internally, inside of you with them, despite if you are married, despite if you have another soul connection either, despite anything. So that person comes inside of you, and after that person is God. That's it. Everything else goes afterwards. And this is how it feels like it. That person, this thing comes in so it can bring you close to God. So that was the answer of the question, Dio, how does it feel like? I used to have a spirit that went through my whole body, and I felt was him. That is the physical part that I just explained it to you, that you two become together, and at the very least connected to him. Yeah, well, you're connected. It was very sexual. That lasted actually into a few weeks ago. Okay, that's mean like a few weeks ago past now, or I would love you to give me more information on this, or lasted just for a few weeks. So I thought I was free, but now it's just anguish. I feel incredible pain and longing. The incredible pain and longing, this is the time when all of a sudden you've been abandoned, and you feel that part of abandonment. So whatever happened between you and your twin, if you abandon him, maybe right now you're learning what is this abandonment is right now. However, I still feel incredible amounts of lust through the spirit seems to be gone. The lust, it's your sexual desire that was never satisfied. So your connection was the physical part. And the way I see it, that if you connected with the lust, maybe you didn't properly understand the word of lust. Once you get into the soul connection, you will have something similar to lust, but it's actually not a lust. It's a very spiritual, deep intimacy, desire you to have a deep intimacy on physical level, but that will include everything. To include the physical part, to include the heart part, to include the energy part, to include the soul part, but also to bring the stars, to bring the universe inside of you. And a lot of the people don't understand, they still have mistaken between the lust and intimacy. And that part, it's very strong between the twin flames, because they want to really experience that part. And this could be your case too. The reason I'm saying this is because of I read it before, but I'm going to read it to everybody else. What is that all about? This winter it will be 5 years. Is that a twin flame? Well, here is what the twin flames, it's very famous about it. If you can get them out of your mind and they stay there, sure it is. I've spoken to him only a handful of times. I mean, he sort of gave himself away last time. Keep wanting to know what were my thoughts of him. Oh, he doesn't know what is your thoughts about him. That makes you a runner. You either don't explain your feelings to him, or you two never overcome the obstacles of the connections to express your feelings to each other. I will give you an advice that the best case on this is confession. You to confess your feelings to him if that didn't happen yet. But for the most part, he shuts me down all the time and never initiate contact. So now simply because you kind of like pushing him away because he tried the last time to understand your feelings about him. You were silent, so he mirrors you, so he shuts you up. You need to understand that that part is whatever the one does, pretty much the other ones the similar part the same way, simply because there is either fear or there is a desire of the control, the connection. You need to understand either you or him cannot control the connection. This is go completely against all the psychology that the people try to put it into the society creation of relationship. This is completely different. And society-based relationship, it's designed to the one to control the other. The man controls the woman by the physical appearance, and the woman controls the man by the mental work. And I know a lot of the women's right now they're laughing about because they hide that part, but you know what? You can't hide things in the soul. So when this part comes in the soul connection, you understand you have to be a partnership, and you and him have to sit down like a normal human beings and express your feelings to each other for how it's supposed to be. Okay? I mean, I loved before. It took me 2 years to stop thinking of a person. We were in a relationship. So, it took you 2 years to forget somebody else that you were in love to. But you are still in a relationship. Well, that's what I'm thinking, guessing into it. This marriage is still going strong. If we are not even friends, much less in a romantic partnership, and it never been. So here is the thing. You got ignited, so is he, but you guys never never went step ahead to have another relationship. The question is why? What happened? What was the thing that caused that separations? And what was that fear of approaching maybe to each other? And you still looking for a romantic partnership. Twin flames is not a romantic relationship. Twin flames is the two people in soul who goes through hell and find a paradise despite everything and anything that opposing this connection. Simply because this is a connection in the soul. If he's too fat for you and you're too skinny, you have to overcome that. If he's younger and you're older, you have to overcome that. If you two are from two different parts of the world, you have to overcome that. If you two are different religions, guess what? You have to overcome it. Two different cultures, you have to overcome it. And so on and so on and so on. And that is the part that a lot of the twin flames still not getting to it, because they seeking the relationship. What the proper situation is to seek partnership with the one doesn't control the other but understands the other, and they mutually work together on everything in life. Everything. They discuss everything, they work together, they walk together, they're basically together, and that's what the union is. But we met through a business transaction. Okay, you guys met, but did you guys keep in a contact? If you don't keep in a contact, see how you're going to be keeping contact. What do you need to do? And I'm not sure I like him. He seems very troubled. What do you mean like him? What part of you doesn't like him? What do you mean troubled? You need to understand that during the twin flames of it, there is this ignition that if he's not have a response, he doesn't have this exchange of energy, there can be a lot of damage. There can be a lot of aggravations. There can be a lot of things that you have inside of you and also inside of him. And things could be a trouble simply because you need to destroy the old way of thinking and build a new way of thinking. The new way, it's that you look in the positions from soul perspective, not from the ego, religion, parents, or anybody else's perspective. And this could be a really trouble for you, but it also can be a trouble for him, simply because there is not this exchange that's going on. And this could be a very, very troubled part. I expected personally with me, I was very pissed off on mine because she actually, like you, didn't even respond to me in a certain ways. Anyway, let's keep on going. But I cannot stop thinking of him and want him sexually. So here we go. You cannot stop thinking about him after 5 years. He's always there inside of you. That is the one of the signs of twin flames. Why you cannot stop asking him sexually? There is a part of you that wants something very special, to be touched very special, or to be done in a very special way, and you felt that part inside of him. And through that part, that connection still exists inside of you. And if you are married, I don't know, but you're probably going to feel bad when you do it. And you need to understand that, again, this part between the difference between sexuality and intimacy, that it's a completely different story. You're probably longing for that intimacy part. I made a video, probably that's going to help you. It's called, it's about Carlos Vives, Volvi and Acer, and the twin flame. It explains there that right there on that video, she wanted to be loved by him, but that was not lust. That was her soul wanted him. And you might don't like him physically, but your soul wants him. And this is why you're interested in him to be physical. When I do speak to him through my spirit for a week or so, I has to be in peace. But then turmoil starts soon again thereafter. This is crazy. It's normal. The thing it is because it seems like you don't have a communications with your twin flame. And when you don't have a communication in the real world, the soul connection still exists. And when you talk to him through spirit, through the soul, this communication keeps it going. And now you want to have this communication in real and the physical, but you can't. So now the energy and soul exist, but the other energy, that it's the heart energy, the body's energy, the bioenergy between you, the heart energies, it's not exchanged. And this is what it's the push and the pull. So you and him to figure out the differences and come together, see each other together, solve the problems that you need to solve so you can be together. Is crazy? No, it's not crazy. It's normal. The humanity we are evolving. And this is the hard part of the people that they don't understand what this twin flame is until they then become a twin flame. And that's why when we posted this quote in here, that when the people put their relationships, okay, twin flame, you can handle this. A lot of the people can handle this craziness. So it's normal to feel like you're crazy, but you're basically not. You're just one of these people that it's involved, and you have beginning to live a life as feeling. Everybody else, if you look at it here, if you're single, you're thinking to be married. If you're married and you're not happy, you're probably divorced. If something happened, you may be widowed. And if you're separate, and it's complicated, guess what? Right there in this part, you're working out of thinking. When you become a twin flame, you're actually turning everything upside down. You become to work on the words feeling. So you're probably feeling him through the soul, and your soul desires this exchange on anything you have inside of you. And I'm going to have this for 20 years. Darling, let me tell you something. Seems like you are a runner, and my personal opinion is until you don't work it out, these communications between you and him, it may take you 5 years, may take you 1 month, or it may take you 30 years, 20 years. And this is about the part that you have to understand that this it is about you to be a truth. You have to learn to be a truth. You cannot fake it this. Once this part, your soul falls in love with that person, and if specifically the love is not expressed, the things can be a quite long suffering, not only for you, but also for him as well. And if you put here for this for 20 years, guess what? It could be 20 years if you and him are so stubborn not to go ahead and solve your differences. And this is the part that we're trying to help people to understand. Hey, go on, communicate, solve your problem, understand you're not in a normal position, you're not in a normal relationship. All those doesn't apply to you. You're a twin flame. And that is the part that we're trying to help a lot of people. Why must the twin flame chaser suffer? The chaser suffer because he wants the truth, and the runner suffer because running from the truth. And the suffering, it's incredible. I gotta tell you that I met a lot of twin flames, and most of them, they're very damaged because of the person who running away abandons them. Because abandonment can cause a lot of problems, a lot of damages inside, and the chaser can suffer greatly than the runner. And that is a something that sometimes the runner, when it comes back, when it go back to the union, the runner will be having a hard time to go ahead and heal the chaser. It's gonna take a lot of love. It's gonna take a lot of patience. People think that once the twin flames they come together, there is no problems. There is some challenges because of the damage. The more the length of the separation and the ignorance and the silences, the worse the damage is. And that's why we're trying to explain to people that when you get together in that love, when you have this stage of bubble love in the beginning of the igniting, go ahead right away. Don't go through all the stages, don't go through all that stuff. Commit to the love. That way you will save yourself a whole lot of troubles. You can save yourself to your twin flame a whole lot of troubles, and you will understand right away you need to be your truth and living by your truth. And this is why we make so much videos. We're helping out from the community because this is where the future is. I mean, people are tired to live in a lie, tired of living on this place where nothing goes right. People feel like they want to have a destiny, they want to have something. But hear how the society works today. You go ahead, you get married for someone, and you have kids. And guess what? You're programming your kids. You tell them, go study, be a doctor. And you go ahead and you as a kid to those parents and tell them, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a singer. And they're like, you know what? How many singers they succeed? Not many. But if you're a doctor, that is gonna be a good for you. So you're gonna be going to a doctor. But I want to be a singer. No, you're gonna be a doctor. And here it is. The programming from the parents goes on into it. The poor kiddo gets a diploma as a doctor. He studied, but all of a sudden, you know, there is this musical show. He goes to the show. He goes, he wins, he gets a contract to become a musician. And he makes more money as a doctor. And now guess what? The lesson begins to the parents that they have to listen to him. He is good as a singer, not to be a doctor. And 10, to understand that there is something called destiny. And that is the part when we as a society have to go ahead now and work it out and understand that there is something called destiny and two people are meet together for a reason. And specifically these kind of connections to be to exist, to be so powerful, you have to understand that it will take some time, and mostly it will take some love, recognition of the love to be. And that's why when this comes in, it destroys that old patterns, destroys these old things, so you can have the reality, the truth. Because this connection is organized by the universe, by God. And this is why you cannot just disconnect it, cannot just stop it into it. I want to be a friend at least. Twin flames, they cannot be just friends. I already made a video on this. But in order you to be a friend with him, you have to have a contact with him. The way I see it here, you're probably not in contact with him, or you broke the contact with him, or you are in a silence, or he's in a silence. You need to understand that you have to establish a connection. You have to reconnect, go back into it. And then you will have to understand what you need to understand. Because when the twin flames are ready and they can decide that they're gonna be together, okay, there is this information exchange between them. So the one passes the informations to the other. It's called twin flames upload, which is pretty soon I have to make this video. I already tested. I actually uploaded whatever I know about the twin flames to someone else, that I'm on a soul connection, simply because I have to do what I have to do. It's my destiny to be here to do the videos for it. And during that part, for 4 weeks, that person understood the 4 years of journey that I learned for twin flames, to the last hair of what I learned. We are not talking about just something simple or small. She understood absolutely everything and matched exactly the same thing. And now this evolving part leads to the next stages of understanding how to evolve and what the oneness is. But that is more gonna be more videos. And if you want to be just the friends, let me tell you something. The love between twin flames, over time, it cannot be just the friends. And I will really suggest you, if you have a chance, go ahead and watch. I make the interview with Rob and Angie when I was over at Boston. Those are the twin flames, who actually that happened to them. 17 years they were trying to solve their problem until they figured out what they needed to do. And I was suggesting you to go ahead and watch that video as well. So July713X, I wish you good luck on your on your twin flame journey. I hope that video helps you out, but I hope that video is gonna help out throughout the community. Thank you so much for watching me. Be loved.